Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Rosie Ministries. My name is Monica Lanigan, and I'm so happy that you joined me here today. It's a rainy Monday morning here in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what it's like where you are, but we had a gorgeous weekend, so we have no complaints here. But I just want to welcome everybody this morning. I don't know if any of you happened to see any of the messages from last week, but I shared some good news on Friday that my daughter and I have found a place to move to. So that was an amazing answer to prayer. And the more I think about it, the more astounded I am by it because you know how they talk about that God answers even the secret desires of your heart? Well, there was something that I prayed for years ago and I kind of had forgotten about. But God actually answered that in this place that we're moving to. And it might sound like a silly request, but for whatever reason, I asked God at one point years ago to live in a house where I could see both the sunrise and the sunset. Because usually you're in an area where you get a really good view of a sunset or a sunrise, but I asked for one where I could see both. And when I was looking at the house that we're going to rent, there's like a description underlined about it, telling you about the bedrooms and the bathrooms and things. But one of the things they specifically said was that you will have a wonderful view of sunrise and sunsets. So I just think it's so awesome when God takes those things that may seem like a teeny little detail to someone else, but He knows that it's in your heart, and maybe He probably put it in my heart years ago just so that He could answer it at this point in time. It's just so wonderful. Always take note of the things God does, not just the huge things that He does, but the little things that He does. And I was reading over the weekend, it might sound odd, but when God answered my prayer for this home for me to live in, I was really excited. And I know it's God and it's wonderful, but part of me felt guilty that my prayer was answered. Like, God, did you answer it sooner than later because you knew that I couldn't handle the pressure or that I wasn't doing this challenge well? Or, I had an answer to my prayer, but I know so many other people that don't have an answer to their prayers. And I started to get this weird guilt about it. And I knew that it wasn't right. It couldn't have been from God. So I actually went online and started looking up, why do we feel guilty when we get an answer to prayer? And one person was explaining it, and they said, when God answers your prayers and you're very grateful, but you feel a little bit guilty about it, when He answered some major thing that you were praying for, why is it that you don't feel guilty about just His everyday blessings or supposed everyday blessings? You woke up this morning, you are healthy, or even if you're not completely healthy, there is probably some part of your body that's functioning quite well. You have people around you, or you had hot water this morning. There is food in your refrigerator. Why is it that we don't see each and every blessing He gives us as miraculous? So that why don't we feel guilty all the time? I mean, not that the person was saying we should feel guilty, but you know what? God is doing miraculous things every day. So why should you just single out this one thing to feel guilty about? Um, and we shouldn't feel guilty. God chooses to bless us when He chooses to bless us and the way He chooses to bless us. We have no control over that. And we shouldn't feel guilty if other people are still going through something. Just continue to pray for them, continue to give. And something that came to mind yesterday when I was at church, we were talking about the book of James, and how you shouldn't just have faith, but it should be evident in how you live your life and the things you do for people. And that reminded me that when we're praying for something, when we're in some kind of a challenge, when we're praying, that we should also remember to do something for other people, even in our pain. And that's sometimes a really hard thing to do, because you just want to crawl in a ball and just have a pity party and just be totally absorbed in this crisis in your life. You don't feel like reaching out to other people. You're a very good person, and under normal circumstances, you would drop anything to help someone. But when you're in crisis mode, you tend to just want to, step back from the world and not do anything. But that's not what God's calling us to do. God wants us to reach out to other people even in our own pain, and don't think for a moment that He's going to forget about you and what you need. I mean, I think sometimes our humanists, we think that, well, if I go help somebody else or if I pray for somebody else's problem, then God's going to forget about me. How is it going to work out for me? But that's not the way that it is. It's not God's economy. He's totally different. You have to kind of wrap your head around that. And you'll find out that when you start doing something for someone else, praying for someone else, actually reaching out and doing something for somebody else, they need a ride somewhere, if they need a financial help with something, if they need groceries or something like that, when you actually do that, then you're going to start to feel better yourself, and you're going to not be so absorbed in what's going on in your own world. Try not to focus on what exactly is around you and your issues. Try to look beyond that, because God's got it under control. So that was what I wanted to share with you today. It's not a very long message, but I hope that it speaks to people where they are. I hope that it makes a difference for you. Life can be, rosy, as we say with Rosie Ministries, even when we're going through issues. There should be sources of hope for us and sources of joy in helping other people, and just being grateful for everything that God is doing and has done in our lives. You might be waiting for this major thing to happen for you, but don't miss the fact that you woke up this morning, that you have people around you, or that you have a home, you have a job, or the sun was shining. Maybe you got to see a beautiful sunrise, or the birds are singing. Whatever it is, look for it. Really seek it out. Something that you can be grateful for, because there's always something there, no matter what's going on in your life. So just, go ahead with your day and think a little bit about that, and just, remember to give God a big thank you for all that He's done. And don't feel guilty when He blesses you, because you have no control over His blessings. And it's not anything you've done that caused it. That's a huge thing for us to learn. We weren't good enough so that God could bless us. He just chose to bless us through His infinite wisdom and sovereignty. Whatever He does, not because of what we've done, but because of His Son. So, take pleasure in what He's done for you. Enjoy it. And remember, it's all Him. It's all for His glory. And share the wonderful testimonies you have with people with joy, because sometimes when you're going through a crisis yourself, that's what gives you hope. When you hear somebody else has come through something and God has come through for them, that reminds you that, yeah, He's going to come through for me too. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up on the bottom of the page, and subscribe to Rosie Ministries channel on YouTube, so you'll be notified anytime a new video comes up. And please visit my website, rosieministries.com. All the videos are there online in one spot. There's some blogs and some information, and I also have a Facebook page on Rosie Ministries. So just let me know what's going on. If there's anything I can pray for you, if you have any praise you want to share with each other, that can be a huge encouragement. If you'd like to just go on Facebook and put a huge praise on that something that God's done for you, or something that He's shown you, that would be wonderful. Let's all just be in this together, okay? All right, have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me.